So hey guys, welcome back to my channel BTech Inside. So here in this session, we are just going to learn about time sharing operating system. So this is one of the type of operating system. So what exactly what is its features, what are its application, why we use time sharing sharing operating system, that we all will going to learn in this session. So let's start with its definition. Time-sharing operating system enable multiple users to share a single computer system simultaneously, allowing for efficient resource utilization. So what exactly it means? So basically, in very layman words, I'm just going to explain you. So time-sharing operating system is basically an operating system with a high amount of resources. Okay, where we are just going to create where sorry so where we are just going to create multiple users, and all the multiple users will going to access the machine at a single time, okay, with the help of RDP or SSH. So one more example I will just share you. Let's suppose you have an operating system. You have accessed the Windows operating system where you have definitely you have created multiple users, okay, in your laptop or in your desktop. So when you have created 5 to 6 use different users, okay. So from the same desktop you can access all these 5 to 6 users, but a single users can access the system at a time, okay. This is the limitation there. This was the limitation there, and that the single user can access the system. If another user wants, when the another user wants to get logged in, the first user need to be logged out. Okay, so this is how the work. The all the users are able to access the resources, or access able to access the whole operating system, but one by one. So when it comes to time sharing operating system, we share all the resources among all the users that we have created. It could be 5 to 6, or it could be any number. Okay. So how it access, I have already told you, with the help of SSH and RDP connection. So the primary goal of time sharing system is to maximize the utilization of computer resources by dividing them among multiple users and providing each user with a responsive computing experience. So what exactly its purpose? The main purpose and the main goal is to maximize the utilization of a particular resource. For an example, you have a server in your data center. Okay. Or if you are a student, might be you are not very aware of data center, then you can just imagine a operating system or a system with a huge amount of resource. For an example, 64 GB of RAM and around 5 TB of memory, okay, disk space. So if a particular single user is using the operating system at the time, what will get happen? Might be they are accessing only 2 to 3 GB of the system, or maximum 32 GB. Then all the other space, all the memory, RAM space, who else will use? No one. Okay, so there the utilization, the effectively not utilizing the resources. We are not effectively utilizing the resources at that time. So when we have created multiple users, okay, the user one will going to access the RAM for around 32 GB. Then other 32 GB RAM will space get divided among different users. Like some of the user required to use 10 GB or 2 GB or 3 GB or 4 GB, 5 GB. And any of the number of RAM they want to access, similarly with the disk space. Okay, so here what the major purpose is that first, it is cost effective. Okay, we need to purchase the operating system for every single individual. Secondly, it utilizes the resource. So this is the picture here where we have in the center, we can see the CPU, which has all the resources like CPU, RAM, and other CPU resources, all the resources it has, and all the users that are connected with the CPU. Okay, and all the different user can able to access the system. So let's come to example of time sharing operating system. This is Linux and Unix, Windows Server, cloud computing. platforms. Okay, so when it comes to Linux server and Windows server, Linux and Windows server, so how it exactly works. So what we are doing here, first we need to create multiple users, and all the multiple users will can access the system from with the help of SSH in Linux and RDP in Windows server. So what exactly we are doing here? We need to create users, okay, in the host system, in the base system. First we need to create the user, and with the help of network, the internal network like SSH and RDP, as I said, they can able to access the machine. When it's come for cloud computing platform, so this is a little new for everybody else who might be don't know what exactly cloud computing is. So majorly cloud computing is what we do. This is the utilize that we utilize the machine, remotely utilize the machine. The major machine, the major machine that like the major servers, the hard disk and the heavy machine are located and stored in a specific area, okay, in a specific location, specific data center. And remotely, with the help of internet, we are accessing from our location. Okay, so this is how cloud computing works. The actual data is stored at a particular location, and with the help of internet we are trying to access the data. So this is the concept that cloud computing they use the time sharing operating system. They use the concept of time sharing operating system, where there are multiple resource, where there is a huge resource, and they have divided the resource in multiple with among the multiple users, so that as per the requirement the user can use the resource, and so that the machine has the large amount of resource will get effectively utilized by all the users. So this is how the cloud computing works. Okay, and this is one of the example of time sharing operating system. So what exactly basically do it? So multiple users can access the same machine at the same time with the help of RDP or SSH. So the evaluation of time sharing operating system. So its historical concept, it was introduced in 1960 and 1970. At that time of era, computer was very had has was the cost of computer was very high. Okay, so at that particular time, it was not so much affordable for every single individual to purchase a computer, or to purchase a computer for every single um person who are working in an organization. Okay, so at the time, it become very much effective for all the user to use the time sharing concept. Okay, time sharing system concept, or like time sharing operating system, so that multiple user can access from the single system. Okay, so earlier implementation, so compatibility time sharing system was developed by MIT CTSS, that we call it, and Multics project that has introduced many of the security concept and time sharing operating system. Now, tradition to modern system. So when now in historical concept, it was just get introduced so that it become cost effective for all the you cost effective. But in the modern concept, we use in Linux, we use it as a Windows server, we use as a in uh, cloud computing part. Okay, so this is how the modern system is working. We are in this era we are using the time sharing operating system with for virtualization of the concept, for containerization, for cloud computing concept. For all these reasons, we are using this time sharing system. Now, key feature of time sharing operating system. So simultaneously user interaction, as we have already discussed, many users can access the same system simultaneously. Okay, time slicing. So time slicing, it uses the concept of scheduling. Okay, process scheduling, where the CPU is allocated with a particular amount of resources. Okay, and it need to access the process. Okay, CPU has it need to access the process, and they access the process effectively. Okay. So this is how it uses the CPU uses the time to process every single process of every single user. Okay. Now interactivity. So here every single individual, every single user can able to interact with the system at the same time. And it is not like this particular person is using a system, then they need to wait for the output. They can use at the real time computing. They have the very they can use it as a real time computing part. Okay. So since they are using it remotely, it doesn't mean it may create any other process, but for the real time computing they can use it. It's very big. It become now for interactivity, it has become very much desired. For interactivity, it is designed in such a way that every single individual can access it very effectively. Now, advantages of time sharing operating system: increase resource utilization. The first one, for which first one, uh, um, it utilizes the resource cost effective. The second one, for which purpose the time sharing system get introduced, get created. Okay, the enhanced user experience. It has also increased the user experience. Okay, they have created a computing environment proper. It increases the productivity. User are able to access the system from remotely from any of the locations. So these are some of the advantages of time sharing operating system. So these are some of the advantages of time sharing operating system. So these are these are some of the advantages of time sharing operating system. Now, implementation of time sharing system. So every single operating system is majorly work on three process: process scheduling, memory management, IoT, and IO management. Okay, so what exactly process scheduling is? So process scheduling, as I said, a CPU, a major CPU is allocated with multiple things. CPU has its own memory, it has RAM, it has disk storage, and uh, it uses the algorithm. Okay, so majorly CPU uses the algorithm to process every single process. So whenever a user click on a single button, whenever the user try to start any of the process, anything. Okay, so at the time process will get created, the process will get executed via the CPU. Okay, the, every single process that user whatever the thing the user is doing, it create the process, and all the process will get executed via the CPU. And at the time, what CPUs do when the multiple users are working, so at the time how CPU will analyze which process is a little more important, how much resource they need to give to the CPU. They uses the algorithm. CPU has the algorithm that help her to schedule that help him. CPU has the algorithm that help him to schedule the process. Okay, and accordingly it schedule process and execute multiple tasks for multiple users. Now, for the memory management part, similarly, we have the memory in the system like RAM, we have disk storage. So how it will get executed, how it will get utilized for multiple users, for multiple tasks. Okay, so this is how what it does. IO management for input output management. Yes, uh, when we are using the input output, we are talking about mouse, keyboards, printers, and different external devices. But when a particular person is accessing the system remotely, they are going to remotely access over a single desktop or in a laptop. Okay, so they at the time they are able to use the external devices of their system only, of the system like of the laptop or a desktop on which they are accessing their RDP or SSH connection. Okay, so this is how it works, and whatever the command we give from the external device will get reflected on the server part, because we are accessing it remotely. So this is the how implementation part of the time sharing operating system work: process scheduling, memory management, and IoT management. Now, application of time sharing system. So major application is in time mainframe computing, cloud computing, and remote desktop services. So mainframe computers are the major computers that are very huge, that require the very huge amount of resource. Okay, and the huge amount of resource need to be get accessed by multiple users. So at that time, time sharing operating system is the best option for accessing the mainframe computing part. Similarly, for the cloud computing, when a single individual is providing the services for or any particular individual want to access the services of cloud computing. So what exactly they are doing? They have stored a heavy machine in a particular location or in a that's a data center, and with the help of internet, we are accessing it from our home location. Okay. Now, again, remote desktop service that we can, these are some of applications of time sharing operating system. Now, what are the challenges and limitation that we face in this? So the performance overhead. So this is initially if the resource is limited and we have created multiple tasks with multiple users. So at the time, it may affect the performance of the system. Resource contention. So this is the same part. When we have overutilized the resources, when we have created multiple users and we have in a limited resource. Okay, so at that time, it may create some kind of resource contentions. So security concern, it is there. Okay, so for that purpose, we can use a multiple security sense for other things. Okay, so the time sharing system must implement robust access control mechanism, ensure the data security, and prevent unauthorized access to resources. What are the future trends? So the future for this would be first containerization and virtualization. So this is what people are accessing these days majorly. Edge computing part. So first we'll go through what is the edge computing. So for an example, I'll give you one of the example. So nowadays we are having the wristwatch where we watch when we do workout. It record and analyze every single thing. And okay, so it record the data, it analyze it and shows the result, shows the output on the watch only. Okay. So traditionally how it goes, we have the traditional how it was going, we have the watch in our wrist, we are doing the workout, it will collect the data, it will share the data to the center, it is share the data to any centralized location, they will process the data. Okay, they analyze the data and create the output, and then they will share the output in the wristwatch, and then we will able to see the output. Okay, that how it was working. But in the edge computing part, it does not work like this. This is a decentralized part. This does not work in the centralized part. This is a decentralized part. I'll do the workout, I have the wristwatch, I'll do the workout, I have the wristwatch, it will analyze, uh it will store data, it will analyze data in itself, it will store, and then it will give me the outputs, every single thing that is going to happen in my watch only. Okay, so this is very much effective in terms of edge computing part. Now, AI and ML learning. So this is the integration of multiple technologies, distributed systems that we can say for the effective utilization of resource and increase the scalability of an organization. Okay, in terms of cost effective, it is as it is a cost effective and also utilize the majorly resource. So this is the how the future trends work. So this is all from our side in this session. So this is all from our side in this session. If you have any of the question that or any of the topic that you want to get explained by me, then please let me know in the comment section. Till then, keep learning and stay a level ahead.